Oops.
All right. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at Lift Run Long. Also, feel free to email my studly, rock solid, and chiseled husband, who subsequently has abs made of solid freaking gold and an ass like 2 3-gallon buckets of hardened concrete at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our private Facebook group, you should be because we want you there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long athletes and request to join right now. Okay, so.
That was amazing. Good job,
Thank
Amanda.
you. I was really nervous doing that.
You did good.
I like the part of the rock hard.
Right? Me too.
That was
Yeah.
impressive.
That totally sounded like you.
I know. I'm so glad you wrote that yourself.
I did. I wrote this
Yes.
myself.
All
Right.
by yourself. Took 2 days to write it.
So, okay. Next, we're going to do reviews. We have a 5-star review this week, and it is from the Green Hatter. I've only been listening to a handful of podcasts for the past year and a half. Before that, I didn't really know what a podcast was. I find that I'm drawn to the ones dealing with setting goals and overcoming great feats. This podcast in particular is my favorite because it hits really close to home with both the hosts and guests. I enjoy getting to know my friends on a deeper level as they interview some amazing people. I don't like anything too serious, and I find that there is just the right amount of comic relief to keep me smiling and my attention at 100%. These podcasts have helped me endure many long runs on the road. Thanks, Beefcake, Dr. Jackton Tan, and the Reverend for help keeping me motivated and always looking forward to the next week's episode.
Very nice.
That was nice. Yeah, really. I'm gonna
So
listen to
thank
that
you, Green
podcast.
Hatter.
No.
I'm going to find out what that is. I'm gonna listen to it.
All right. So this week is our Lift Heavy Run Long Ladies podcast. And so I'm your host this week, Amanda Horrell. The guys have gone on hiatus, except for Chris Perry, our cameraman. So we're going to start to my right. We've got Laura Pinckley.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Laura.
Hello, Amanda.
How are you?
Delightful. Thank you for having me. Oh, I'm sorry. I sounded like Jenny, didn't I?
Took Jenny's
Laura's been entertaining us with her air.
Traffic
control voice.
Boring clearances, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then to her right, we have Stacy Kale, who is Papa G. Kale's wife, who we interviewed a few
No, he's
weeks
my
ago.
husband.
Oh,
Yeah,
husband?
right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I mean, he's such a girl, though. He joins us with all the girl
know.
stuff.
I'm so sad he's not here. He's a bigger girl than I am.
And then we have Jenny Lovett next to her. Hey, Jenny, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Thank you for joining us. You look so beautiful.
I like it. I love it.
I just woke up like this. Nothing fake about it at all. Just saying.
All natural. And then on the end, we have Miss Amanda Drogmiller, who is a returning guest. Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all you guys coming. So, what you guys want to talk about? I got some questions, but if you guys have anything you want to start out with. Oh, I forgot Chris Perry. Chris Perry, our cameraman.
Yay.
Oh, we don't have him mic'd up this week. Oh,
He's scared.
sorry.
Never stood a chance anyway. It was never going to happen for him anyway.
So I'll start out with my first question, but we can go from there if that's all right.
Sure.
Okay.
Was Jenny ever a stripper? Yes.
Is
Yeah,
that
he was
already
a stripper.
started?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That's how-
Yes,
yep.
he was.
I've never been a stripper. I'm going to just put that out there. Never.
Okay. I want to hear about what brought you to your day one of fitness. What was going wrong that caused you to make that change, and where did you find the courage to actually do something about it?
I don't think it was inherently, in my case, that something was wrong. It was more of an opportunity where maybe a lot of us were athletes or did something when we were younger. Maybe a bunch of us were working moms with some little kids. And then we had friends that were opening a CrossFit gym up in Memphis, and she wanted to practice coaching. So she said, hey, for free, if you want to come up and try it. And I did not, and I didn't want to do it. Smoking, working full time, I didn't want to do it, but it was a free opportunity, and I really liked this person. So it wasn't even something that was wrong, and I would really want to get back into fitness, and I really wanted to do it. It was I was going to help a friend out. And then now, 7 years later, still doing CrossFit, really enjoying it, trying to improve and getting all the health benefits. But I didn't start off with any intent to do anything good for myself. It was helping a friend. I fell into it, and then you start with the working out, and then you move into the knowing the people, which keeps you coming back. No matter what happens in your life, or the busyness or injuries or whatever, you come back for, like the ladies in this group right here.
We don't really like you, but thanks for
You.
There's your first.
You're welcome. I'm glad my first you was to Jenny, by the way.
That makes me feel special.
Yeah.
So
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It was fitting.
I'd had a baby, my last child, and so this is what got me into CrossFit. He was maybe 6 months old, and so I had about 20 pounds that I just was trying to get off. And I just, once again, Googled it, and a friend of mine had heard something about CrossFit. I was like, I don't know what that is. And I can just check it out. So just went up there, and after my first day there, I said, I'm going to go in. So put in for a year, and I've been there 3.5.
And she sandbags.
And
And
a
she
sandbag.
sandbags. Oh
But
my
I just want
God.
to give everybody else a fair chance.
That's true.
is
You're
You're
all
such a
that,
badass
really
at it.
is.
Oh
I know.
my God.
Doesn't even
I know.
sweat.
It's a shame that she
No.
sandbags when she's so good.
She
I
sweats
know.
glitter.
I do. I sweat glitter.
When she sweats.
It hurts a little bit.
I mean, you come in like makeup and glittered up,
Right.
and you just don't even mess it up when you get done. You just walk out still
after
looking the
my
same
night
way.
job, then I go to work and I don't shower, and then I go to my real job, and then by the end of the day, it's
stuck.
It's
does it
it's
for the
stage makeup,
kids.
so
It's for
it
the
just doesn't
kids.
come off. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it for the kids. Yeah, that's right.
So
It's
you've been there
all for the children.
3.5 years?
Yeah.
Wow, you're really good at what you do up there.
don't
Like
know
you're my hero.
We're talking about CrossFit, right?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about another
Yeah.
job.
Yes, I agree completely.
How did you find it, Amanda?
Peer pressure by your awesome husband and
He's
a couple
good at
other, yeah, he really is. A couple other folks that were doing a running clinic that I was doing, and so they said, "Come on, try CrossFit." And Vaughn had been trying to get me to go for, I guess, a year or so, and I don't want to do it. So everyone was so nice in the running clinic, I decided to go try it and hooked after the first day. It was pretty amazing. It was very cool. And one of the very first people I saw at the gym was Beef, and it was just very cool. It was neat.
He's like the gym welcomer.
He really is. He's like the Walmart greeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
That's a better
Yeah,
analogy.
definitely.
He is. I mean, if somebody
so.
walks in that he does
Except
not
for he has
know,
all
he's
his
up
teeth.
there.
It's kind of like the random guy on the couch that just doesn't go away. It's like him. He just shows up. That's good. I like that about
Exactly.
him.
So I guess it's been about 3.5 years for me too. So
Yeah, because we were around the same time.
yep.
So it makes the struggle of walking into a gym uniquely difficult for women. What advice do you have for a woman who wants to walk into a gym to help get over that difficulty?
Do it.
Drink.
Do it.
Alcohol,
Drink.
lots
Yeah.
of it, and then just go.
Just
Take
come.
a friend. It makes
Get
it easier.
really drunk.
Right.
I have high anxiety walking in places like that, and you take somebody with you. That way you have somebody to talk to. You have somebody else going through it with you. Makes it easier.
I think CrossFit, though, is slightly different than a regular gym because of the community and the friendships that people build in there. I think it's more of a almost not a social hour, but you definitely do
Oh, it's
talk
definitely a
and joke
social hour.
around
Totally
at the
social.
same time that you're working out. And I think in a regular gym, you usually don't make eye contact with
Right.
anybody.
But some people find comfort in that. That takes away the whole meeting other people or being intimidated by other people. Why you go to why you go to ATC Fitness, and it's such a shame because, you talk about the social part. And I think for women in particular, that's a huge part of it. Whether you're fit or not. I know a lot of guys too, and this is true actually for men and women. Sometimes you need that bro push. You need that person you want to compete against.
Why are you pointing at me?
Well,
Because everybody wants to be
I was actually
Jenny.
pointing at you two
Right.
competing. I don't compete with anybody in the gym. I show up my once a month and I call it a day. But I think that's a huge part for a lot of us. It keeps us there though too. I mean, so maybe it's not the reason you necessarily walk in is knowing someone, but you keep coming back to it.
The friendships are amazing once you get there. The people that push you, the people that make you go, the people that make you better, the people that when you're having a bad day, they make you feel better. Keep you going.
I would not have stepped foot in the gym if it hadn't been for the fact that they, Beef and Kanisha said, come with us, it was too intimidating for me to walk in the first time by myself. So it felt much nicer to see someone that
much
was
easier.
familiar. So
Much
definitely.
easier.
So tell me about the first time walking into a CrossFit gym, the insecurities, the doubt, and the self-esteem. Well, not Laura. How long did you feel this way, and what helped you get past it?
It depends. I guess some days you still kind of feel that way, but you have your regular people you work out with. Makes it more fun. Like knowing when you go to a class that those certain people are going to be there, and you know how well you work with them. Makes it better.
That's true. Yeah, I think we all as a group, because we have a pretty tight core, and I think it's just all the evening. So anybody who comes in, we all get together and hang out afterwards before, do social stuff together. So have dance-offs.
Dance-offs.
You're going to show us that later, right?
I am,
Okay,
actually.
good.
Yeah.
So what is one thing that you wish you could have known before going into a gym that you've learned since?
Don't take 20 years off, maybe. It's
Right.
probably the big thing. That's the big thing that I think is a bummer now, of knowing that I wish I just known this earlier or had been more available.
Right.
I think getting out there sooner, not waiting for that, maybe not waiting for that friend to go in there and jump on in. I think the other thing too is that, we're talking about CrossFit, but really anything you like to do, you should try to get into and get moving again. You do feel better, and the sooner you can jump into that. But for me, waiting the 10 years to get in there, and the intimidation of it's too late for me. I'm too fat. I've let it go. I can't do that. I think that if you can, that's the biggest thing to kind of overcome to get in there. But really find the thing that you love to do. They say that's a perfect exercise. Do the one thing you love. Which is why I don't sandbag. I cherry pick my workouts. I only show up for deadlifting.
I've heard several women say that they need to get in shape before they start coming to CrossFit.
Yeah.
That's a
I hear
huge
that
thing.
all the time, and I was like, no.
I hear that from
true
guys
at
too.
all.
I was like, just come in and start. You'll get there, but if you wait till you get in shape, you're not ever coming. You won't ever do it.
You'll have some excuse. why you won't get in
There'll
there.
always be an excuse.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, there's guys like that at the hospital. Actually, there's two I can think of right now that keep saying, "Well, I'm not in shape enough to come yet."
Do it.
I'm like, just come.
You can scale every
Yeah.
single workout to something you can do. I don't care what your fitness level is.
I think that takes some of the competitiveness out of it too. For someone like me who has like a neck issue or whatever, I don't ever have to worry about competing with anyone here because I can't do anything that they can do. I can't do any of the overhead stuff. I can't do any of those things. So it's not that sense of competing. I'm never going to do the same things. I'm never going to not sweat like Jenny doesn't sweat. Like that's never going to happen. Like I just can't do that. So that I think makes it less intimidating actually. If you know that going in, like I'm not competing with you guys. I'm showing up to work out and have fun, but we're not really competing. I mean, you compete more, I think, with a couple different of your bros in the gym, right?
I mean,
Like
probably.
Bobby
I don't know.
and whatever.
Some of them,
you
yeah.
know?
It's just more to drive and push you. You just
Right.
have those people who just it's like horses running together. They just want to stay by side and just barely little
Keep you pushing.
One
Well, there
Yeah.
has to be that one person that is always a little bit better to give you the push to want to do
Right.
better, to get better,
Right.
to be better than.
But it's not intimidating. It's the push. I mean, it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm friends with that one over there?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Her warm up is my 1 rep max. I'm like, ooh. She's like,
Whatever. No, I think it's good. It's healthy to have that competitive drive. I think just a little bit. I mean, of course, it can get dangerous and unhealthy at times. There's times where I get angry. It's like, oh, they can do that and I can't, and I get mad, and then I have to like attitude check, self check, and be like, I can do what I can only do, and I can work harder at what I can't do.
Well, that's the
and
one
get
reason you
there.
should pay for CrossFit, though. You should have those coaches that catch that. If you're just in a gym on yourself or a bunch of people working out, one of the things you should be paying for in the CrossFit joint that maybe what it costs a little bit more is you should have those coaches that see that and kind of rein you in. And, you know, that's the difference in CrossFit, whether you get injured or not, whether you have a coach that kind of says, okay, well, for you, Amanda, I know you're always going to push it. I know this is what you need to do. This is the limit I want for you at this workout, you know. Or maybe they don't. Maybe you're just a wild stallion and no one can control you, you know.
I tell them, leave me the hell alone. I'm right.
Yeah, that's the word you use.
But to that same thought process is you have to be coachable as well.
Right.
So,
What are
you
you
know,
trying to say, Amanda?
I'm saying you're a
Jenny.
sandbagger.
Yeah, we want you
She
to push
tells
it
me I'm
harder.
not coachable. I don't understand.
Don't
So it's like,
reel it in.
it's just you're out of control. It's okay. I don't even post scores. Like I don't even want to compete with myself. I'm so afraid I'm gonna fail. I just set my expectations low, and I don't have to meet anybody's expectations.
Jenny, oh my gosh.
I know, right?
I bet you're one of the strongest women in our gym.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
Yeah,
But
not
you won't put
strongest.
that weight on there.
I'd say she probably has one of the better engines in the gym.
Yeah, I agree.
I can go all. Never mind. I'm
You're
just gonna
double unders?
stop right now.
You can do double unders
Yeah, you
and
should
shipping
say like
pull-ups
your
all
double
day long.
unders.
Yeah.
Like that. You should make your double unders are just magnificent.
That's what I paid for. We're just gonna go there.
Good
I'm just gonna
investment.
throw it right out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you finance those, or
Take it for a spin.
do you like?
Test drive.
I
Yeah, you
know.
have to do test
Is there
drive.
like
I don't
something you could put on and be like, "This is no, let's try this
They
one."
actually have things you can put on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
We
interesting.
should have brought.
We should
should've
take a
brought visuals.
field trip.
That would have been
To the boob
horrifying.
company?
Let's all go do that. In fact, I think we can get 2 for 1s, and if I can get a referral fee, like I can, and then I can go back and get you something else wild later.
Oh my
So
God, that
I'm
would
gonna
be
take all y'all with
amazing.
me, and
Yeah.
then we can
And we're still talking about double unders, of course.
definitely. It's always comes
Just in
back
case
to
there was
double
some
unders.
confusion.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And you can always work on our snatches while we're there.
Right. You do have a very pretty snatch, by the
Thank
way.
you. I know. I've worked on it for 3.5 years.
It's amazing.
That's what. Once again, you remember how I said let's go back to the Kegels? Now I know that has nothing to do with the snatch,
But it does with the double unders because I hear that
Right.
women have babies. Once they start doing double unders, they tend to dribble on themselves. Is this
I had
true?
a C-section, so I don't know about all that.
I was going to say, is this true?
But yes, that is true.
Okay.
So
It
that's
was
and that's
even
not
with
normal.
C-section.
So
Oh, it's not normal.
I mean, it's common, but it's not normal. So if you have that problem, then that means you do need to honestly be doing
Kegels.
Kegel exercises.
Is it Kegels or
seriously.
Kegels?
I don't know. Kegel,
I don't
Kegel.
know.
Who
You
cares?
say potato, I say potato.
Right?
I'm doing mine right now.
Squeeze your hoo-ha. I mean, that's all you need to do.
Let's all do it on the count of 3. No, seriously, let's do a Kegel off. It's like a double under, Like, ready? One.
Competitive.
Hold on,
Who do we know
seriously.
has the strongest one? Though?
We're gonna find out. Let's see who can hold it the longest.
Wow.
Seriously, let's see who can do it the longest. Ready?
one by
One,
one will pass
2,
out.
3, go.
Not physically.
Okay, I feel like nobody's taking this seriously.
No, I can't.
No, I think you win.
How would you test that though?
I
Like
can't look him in the
throw
eye
the
while I'm
ping
doing
pong
it.
ball out? Like pop.
You can use this bit here.
Wow.
See where that
That
goes.
would be even better. I don't know. It's not full.
We'll figure that
a
out.
full ball. It needs to be a ball.
Okay. So,
That's getting cut out. I'm pretty sure that's edited. All right,
all
here
right.
we go.
so what would you say to the person on the couch who wants to make a change but is just too afraid?
Do it. Do it.
That's your answer for everything. Just do it.
You need to think of what you're afraid of. Are you afraid of actually doing it?
Or failure, or
Because
what?
some people has that thing where they're comfortable being who they are. They want to change, but they're comfortable with the size they are because they're afraid of, well, people still like me when I've lost weight. Will I still be as powerful, or will I still be as strong when I lose weight, mentally and emotionally, not physically? So some people have that anxiety.
I think you're right. I think it's finding out what's holding you back. For me, it was one of those, being a working mom, every minute when my babies were little, I was not going to compromise time with them when I was home. So as they got older and got into school, that excuse kind of melted away. And then it was, well, I don't know what to do. Well, they built the Y, and then there was a place to go swimming, and I love swimming. So then that excuse kind of melted away. But it really is finding out what is kind of holding you back from that. Or am I not going to be as strong? Or do I have an injury that's holding me back? Or sometimes of it, you give up and you say, I'm just too tired. How could I possibly exercise? And then you have to address that and say, well, I'm never going to stop being tired unless I start to exercise. Right. So it might be something like that. Like, I think that's key. Find out what is why are you not exercising? Start with that one little thing. And then maybe work around that. But really, you have the key is finding something you like to do.
I'm going to say the fatigue, though. If you're tired, I feel so much better if I'm exhausted, even if I've worked my 12-hour shift. I'm so tired.
But
if
you
I
know
go to
that,
the gym,
though.
I feel that's what I'm
I know,
saying.
yeah, that's
so that they know on the other side when you actually do go work out, even that night, you get those endorphins and you feel so much better. And then you're still tired the next day, but you're like, but I'm going to feel better after I work out. And that's what keeps you going, because you know after you've gone on vacation, you come home, you're like, oh, that first workout. But then when you go, you're right back into it, and you feel much, much better. You have more energy to be able to do the things you want to do, the fun things, not just the workout stuff.
keep up with your kids.
Keep
Right.
up with the kids.
I think on the flip side of that too, though, is let's say you're not looking for weight loss and you're thinking that a CrossFit gym is just to get you, for weight loss, or you don't want to gain muscle. And that's a lot of what I have heard a lot of ladies say. I don't want to go to that CrossFit gym. I don't want to put on all that muscle. And it doesn't have to be like that either. It's whatever your goal is. If you want to put on that much muscle, then that's your goal. But if you go into the gym and you do, every day's workout, that doesn't mean you're going to put on 20, 30 pounds of muscle. And I think that's what people, that it's that misconception. You're going to get big and bulky. And well, I think that's amazing if you do get big and bulky, but you don't have to, you can have those different goals in order, and it may just be that you want to go in there and have fun. You don't want to lose weight. You don't want to put on muscle. You don't want to do anything. You just
I don't want to work out.
Be able to lift the bar and throw it down and say, damn it.
Exactly. You just want to get rid of aggression, be by yourself, have some, some of your own time, and that's fine. You don't have to necessarily have a specific goal. Just some time by yourself is such an amazing thing when you have kids and you have a full-time job, and even if you don't have a full-time job and, you are not paid and get to stay with your kids all day, and and
That is a full-time job.
That is a full-time
That's
job.
Oh, my
Exactly.
Lord. I go to work to
To
a
get
break.
away. Yeah. Oh, exactly. So
All my works,
Right?
all the jobs. Totally kidding.
So, I think it's important for them to understand that as well. Not just moms, dads too. They need that time to themselves.
I think that kind of leads into the next question is, what are some of the areas you struggle most in your personal life that physical fitness helps you cope? I think, going and relieving aggression is definitely one of those type things that helps.
How much aggression do you have, Amanda?
Yeah.
You're in the gym an awful lot.
She's very
Man,
angry.
throwing
go
that out
work
there.
at the job I go. I have to deal with Stacy every day. Where's my vancomycin? Where's my
right
Zocin?
there.
No.
I mean, so many.
I've already sent it, Stacy. Go look for it. Love you.
No, last
See you at the
time
gym.
things go south really, really fast. She's who you need. You want them over there to be able to hand you what you need quickly.
Funny story, this weekend we were at the race and she gets a phone call from the ER, and my dad is like the most obnoxious person ever on the face of the earth. And I looked at him and I was like, Daddy,
Say hi, Dad.
you better, you better behave yourself and not say butt or balls or anything. She is on the phone with the ER and this is very important. And he was like, she gets off the phone and he was like, oh, okay, good. Like he could not contain himself more than a couple of minutes.
Well, depending on who she said, they might have been saying, balls and and damn and
So I kind of started the gym because I was kind of in a struggle personally. I was just out of a really bad abusive relationship. And I was also depressed and eating whole pizzas at a time. So that was a reason to get into the gym. That was kind of my starting point.
So if you see her with the pizza, back away from the pizza, man.
It was
I'll
Little
have to ask you to put that
Caesars.
pizza down.
It was Little Caesars too, and I used to love those things. But now that I've kind of cleaned up my nutrition, and they're not so good.
They're not so good anymore.
They're not.
I was really
I could eat some
disappointed.
Little Caesars right now. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you got me wanting pizza. Somebody needs to go get pizza. Sorry.
So, what are some bad habits that were broken due to fitness, and what were some good habits formed, and what are some bad habits you can't seem to overcome?
So I basically work out so that I can have bad habits. I'm just going to put it. It's like I work out so that I can eat badly when I want to and probably drink a little more than I should. And it just kind of helps me just stay in that zone. Because I know after my kids go to bed, I'm going to need to have a hot bath and maybe a mommy cocktail. That's all I'm saying.
Or 7.
Or however many until I can, But you do the mommy time, you do the gym time. And then you have your own time.
So, Laura, you said you quit smoking.
I did, because it's really hard to do a CrossFit workout when you can't breathe. But I did when I first started, though, because I think, with the mom stuff or whatever, you talk about the cocktails and the whatever. I think smoking or drinking or whatever it is, it's that break where, or I'm eating a whole pizza. I can't be cleaning the house. I can't be working at my job. I'm sitting down. I'm having a cigarette. Like, that's what I'm doing. It's the break. So for me, it was always the break. But I realized, okay, now that I'm working out, maybe the break isn't as much fun anymore because I can't breathe. But I would leave the CrossFit place we first started, and I really hope my original coach is not listening, but I would leave the gym and light up a cigarette. Because I'm like, good workout. How many cigarettes can I smoke on my way home from the gym? So, but it was one of those things you wanted to do that anyway, especially having small children. So that was kind of hand in hand. And maybe I would have done it anyway. Maybe I wouldn't have. But that was a really good motivator. And then as you get older and you want to do more things, you start to think about not weight even as a aesthetic. The aesthetics for me, that's not why I work out. That's never why I've worked out. That's not appealing to me. The strength, being better at things, the competitive part of it, I like that. But being able to do the moves and whatnot. But the diet started kind of coming in where you start to think about things and you do research on paleo and primal and all that, and you try to be a little bit better. But it was funny for me. So the drinking actually came along too, where with the small children, you need that bath, you need that glass of wine or whatever. But I realized later on as I was getting older and, it would take me longer to recover from that. So now I'm not drinking now. But what I realized that of all of that smoking, drinking, or whatever, it's sugar. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Because I thought, I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to lose weight. And I'm going to do 1,000 pull-ups. And it's going to be awesome. And it's reverting back to, I'm going to have pizza and ice cream. And because I deserve it. I deserve my break. So when you don't smoke or you don't drink or you don't whatever, you find something else to fill that with. And it's great to have CrossFit. But there's probably always going to be something that you have as that break, that treat, that whatever you talk about. So I got to figure out something beyond sugar.
Steak.
And I'm thinking it's Coke. You know what I mean? Or meth or I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to take that stuff. I don't know if you know that as an air traffic controller. I can't take those things. So there's got to be something between meth and sugar.
It's less calories, I think, probably.
Is it
really?
Right? It burns more calories.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, on my little crack pipe, it has nutritional information on it.
Got me.
Now
that you've got me thinking about how I probably should stop drinking so much and maybe put myself into some other, I'm thinking.
But if you replace it with another habit, it doesn't help.
Thank you for that.
I'll have I'm
gonna send you a bill.
A pint of Ben and Jerry's every night because I deserve it because I worked out. So I don't do it right. Like I can't work out and then say I can have like that glass or two of wine. So I worked out. I'm going to have 2 pints of Ben and Jerry's.
That sounds good though.
It does sound good.
Yeah.
That's why I can't do a pull up.
So how bad is the struggle of nutrition, balancing that? I have a hard time with sugar.
I think that's one also with kids and shift work. And I don't tell you, shift work will kill you too. I mean, ask anyone that throws your hormones all off, and then you get into your 40s, and that doesn't help. And then the prep time.
Yeah, prep time's hard.
Shut up.
I mean, I don't cook. My husband does that because that. But I mean, I hear it's hard.
Once I've started, I'm good. Like once I get in there and I'm down 2 days and I'm in it, I'm good until something.
Yeah, once the shakes wear off from the.
You make it 2 whole days.
No, I can make it longer than that. But I mean. It's like when I started with Cindy, I made it the whole month, and then barbecue happened, and then after barbecue it was vacation, and then after vacation it was birthday, and so
because there's always another reason, right?
Right. Well, anniversary in like 2 weeks, and then I won't have anything until November, so I'll be back on.
I don't know. I definitely.
So that way Cindy will,
I
measure
think
smaller.
Cindy was one of those that had mentioned that she doesn't even have a choice. Like she can't really even cheat.
Right, she's got the
because
Crohn's.
she has Crohn's.
Right.
But in even that, this weekend we ate like really bad.
Ugh. Cindy would cry every time.
You guys are so
every
fat
time
now,
I ate a bite of something, I would just thought about Cindy crying.
They're kind of fat now.
We
aren't
realized
they?
Cindy. We didn't even want to take
Cindy
pictures.
fell off.
But it was bad, and we felt terrible.
Oh, it was horrible.
It was the worst.
Because then you have to go back and weigh in, and she's not measuring you as small.
Well, no, just like
I didn't care
physically.
about that. I just honestly,
we felt like
bad.
crap. I just felt like I wanted to throw up. I was craving salmon, chicken, something like meaty, whole food, and broccoli, and
it was gross.
I literally have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, really.
Broccoli,
salmon. Broccoli.
Not everybody gets to have the perfect, size 10 over here. Like you're a
Size
perfect
10? You just called her
She's a
fat.
10.
I was gonna say.
No,
how do
she's
you
a
know
10.
she's
No,
not a
she's a
10?
rank of a 10, not
She's
size
a 10.
10.
Okay, sorry. That works.
I'm not going to take it.
If you buy the
10
stretchy
right
enough
here. I will be
jeans, you could be
right.
like a
I'm
10 or a
saying.
12. I'm just telling you right now, sister. That ain't a 10.
It's all right. I'll be what
You
you,
ain't
want
no
me to
10.
be, baby. I'll be what you want me to be.
I
Pay up.
know.
Hey,
For me, it's free.
keep your
That's
work
right.
at work, Jenny.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Don't tell anybody.
So, what are some bad habits? Wait, no, I read that one already. What was some beliefs that you had prior to fitness that have been proven wrong and proven right?
That one size fits all.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's
That's
a
not
good
true of
one.
everything in life, yeah.
That is not true.
I wish a lot of people knew that.
So, what makes fitness fun?
Your friends.
This.
Yeah.
Friends. Having your same group of people that you can text something stupid to and they'll totally get it.
That and I don't know. They made fun of me the other day because the workout we had Wednesday was fantastic because it was all weights and I loved it. And I got done. I was like, that was so much fun. And Jennifer walked by and she goes, I'm beginning to question your definition of fun. But I loved it. You know, you were pouring sweat and everything. And just some of that stuff is really fun to me to do those
Yeah.
workouts and to go against the clock. And it's fun.
Well, you're really strong, though.
Yes,
So
you
that's
are. Yes, you are.
that's totally your
Thank you.
wheelhouse.
That's like being the best at what you do and being like,
I know.
I'm really
It's just
good
like
at being
crazy
the best.
watching
It's
her.
fun when I'm the best.
Right.
And you all suck compared to me. I find it to
Bow
be fun.
down.
You know?
You know what? I remember the funniest thing I've ever seen in the gym was you during the open when you were at the backed up to the back of the wall to run up to do a chest to bar. You spent like 20 minutes doing that over and over again.
Yeah, and I wasn't being over dramatic at all.
Oh my God, that was so
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I laughed so hard. And you were laughing
Well,
too. And
that's the big thing too for me. So, you know, with all of my challenges, my special needs for the way I work out and don't work
special.
out in once a month and everything like that, you have to have fun because that is hard. So if you're not in there laughing and having a good time, especially at yourself, because that's the thing too, you know, when you talk about getting angry. So when I was growing up, I did all the sports. I was really good. I was good at track. I was good at soccer. I was good at that stuff. And then I took 10 or 15 years off. And then I'm not good at anything anymore. So you have to change that competitive thing or else you can either be really mad about it. And I'm sure it motivates a lot of people. It doesn't motivate me. I want to do things that are fun now, especially if I'm going to be away from my kids. So you have to be goofy. You have to have
She's
a good
pointing at
time.
She does point, but you too,
You know?
I think, actually. She's
What?
worse
I
than
thought
me.
no,
It's
I'm
just
not.
nobody calls her out on it.
On what? Sandbagging?
That too.
No, I don't.
Being goofy.
No, she's actually a badass. But no, just being goofy and crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking about that with
makes
Paul.
it fun.
Yeah, it does make it fun. And well, another thing too is that, you know, in this day and age with all the technology and stuff like that, you don't even sometimes know your neighbors. You know, we went out to the baseball game, and I thought this is really cool. We did meet a lot of awesome people in the gym that you actually like enough to go see outside of the gym when you're not cussing and sweating and being disgusting. You know, you clean up nice, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You know, these are some good people.
I had
to
an
have
awesome
fun
shirt.
with, you know,
It was awesome.
Yeah, you did have an awesome shirt.
so, do y'all have, I know you have an athletic background also with soccer. Do y'all have an athletic background?
Softball, not soccer. I'm awful at soccer. I stopped kicking the ball and started kicking them. Come back here.
So I was the fat kid for a long time as a kid, like the fat kid. So and it wasn't until I was I had small times where I was younger where we played, and then I hit like a 11, 12-year-old phase, and then just ballooned up and just kind of withdrew from everything, shut myself in my room for a long time because I was so just down on myself. And then around 15, 16, I kind of started realizing getting made fun of so bad that I decided to take control over it, and so got myself in shape. Actually, I think I did like linguisine and back in the day and Slim
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Slim Fast.
So then after that happened, I started realizing that I needed to, get back into sports and things like that. So started playing, cheering again, and softball, volleyball. What came from a real small school, so you could play everything. So yeah, I did all that and did some. My sister and I did gymnastics when we were really little. So I think having a little bit of fundamental, that was.
I think that's a huge thing with
Before
our
the
kids.
fact,
That's what we
yeah.
try to do is.
So I think that's really good to have because it helps with bar work.
Well, the diversity
and
too. I think
stripper
that's an
poles
important
and all
thing.
kinds of
You
stuff.
know, get them to do a little bit of stuff like that. You know, stripper poles when they're
Right.
young. 'Cause,
You
I
got
mean,
to
want
start
them
that
to-
young. Totally. Yeah.
And let's
You gotta
not be
get them used to
sexist.
it.
Boys, girls, stripper poles.
Right.
get them all trained,
Yeah.
and then but they don't have to
And
commit to it.
Right. And I think the balance beam, that actually helps for like being bar top dancing. When
Yeah.
you're doing a balance beam, when you're
Get them in high heels young.
for sure.
Right.
They need to be. They can walk the balance beam in high heels. You can walk
Yeah.
on top of a bar and drop it like it's hot for sure.
So is fear part of your motivation there, Jenny, for keeping in shape and
Oh
looking
yeah,
that way
of
too?
course. Yeah. I mean, I was like a little over 200 pounds at 15.
Yeah.
So I'd just gone, and I'm only 5'5",
No,
and
you're
then
not.
5'8". With,
Yeah, you
With the
just don't
heels
see
she
her without
wears.
heels.
Yeah.
Right. So
Seen her
you
tennis
always
shoes.
use heels on. So
She still works. She works out in her heels
five and a
too.
half. On, like,
Oh,
on
did
a
someone
good
bring
day.
a rope so Jenny
Whatever.
can do her double unders and the high heels?
Right. I don't know that I would do that in these.
Okay, they have to be stilettos.
Yeah, that'd be better because these have these are the cork.
You know what you
boards.
could do is
could
just
break
take
your
some of
ankle.
these wires because Beef doesn't care about them and just jump rope with them real quick.
Get to town.
So, what other funniest moments do you guys have in the gym? Like the one I thought about Laura. I was trying to think of other
Oh, my
things. There's
Lord.
some funny stuff that goes on
I
down
have
there.
one of my husband's very similar to that too in the open when he was trying to do his first chest to bar 6'2", 300-pound man launching himself at the bar, and I was like, "Oh, this thing's not gonna hold. Like, what are we gonna do when we have to go on disability?" Because he just flew through, but he got a couple too.
Yeah,
so
Paul did
that's
that. Paul
pretty
did the jailbreak.
Yep.
Yeah. They've since outlawed that because of our husbands. You can't do that anymore.
You can't do that
No.
anymore. Chicken wine.
Funny stuff happens every day.
Yeah.
It's usually a lot of profanity,
Especially
and a lot
in the
of
PM
like
classes.
banter.
Yeah, the PM classes are much more
Right.
loose than the early classes I
Well, I
have,
meant we have
come to find out.
specific person that's way more loose than
Loose is being generous.
That's back in the day, okay, guys? We don't leave that
By
stuff
the day, she
way
means
back
yesterday.
there. Not
Yesterday is the day.
Back, it
Yesterday.
doesn't matter. Time is not of the essence here.
No.
Okay?
So Jenny's one of the main reasons why, though, we like to go in the afternoons.
Right, because I'm awesome.
Because not too many
It's
people
true.
I can go stand next to and have a normal conversation where she gets what I'm saying on a daily
Right.
basis.
Because she's crazy and so am I.
right, and everybody else is looking at me like,
Right.
what in the world are they talking about?
Right.
Children, get away from her.
Right.
Well, yeah, the early classes are like silent
They like your
They are.
babies.
compared to.
But that's not, that's good.
But
There's
we're
something for
tired
everybody.
and trying to get done
Y'all
and go
are
to work.
crazy for getting.
You don't
up.
want to
Yeah,
see me
that's
in a
not
morning
right.
class. It's not good. It's not pretty.
Because somebody came in the other day, they're like, "Oh, it's so quiet here." I'm like, "Because we're not woke up yet."
Right.
No,
Don't have your coffee yet.
there's something wrong with y'all. It's just
There
5
is.
a.m.
Yeah, no, we didn't
I have to get it done.
We decided to wait till this moment to tell you. Yeah. We think
Right.
you're up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm married to beef.
Actually, this is this is actually an intervention.
Yeah, really.
And we
So,
need to talk.
Amanda,
Welcome to your intervention.
Yeah, you can come work out with us now. It's okay.
This is a safe place.
No, I went.
Are you checking with
What
him
day?
if it's okay?
What day was it? What day did we go? That was so hot that I didn't want to go.
Oh wait, no, that was
That was
Wednesday.
Monday.
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Every day. What are you
Every
talking
day.
about?
We went Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I didn't go that morning because I coached and I ate too much salt the night before, so I couldn't get my wedding rings off. So I
Songs
could,
heard around the world.
it was a bunch of bar work. So I was like, I don't want to go and smash my rings up, so I had to wait till my fingers stop swelling. So
Dude,
anyway,
if guys had a nickel every time they had to worry
Right.
about this.
Right.
so I had to come home. And so he's like, "Well, are you going to go to CrossFit today?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to go at 6 when it cools off." "No, you're going to go at 4 because I'm going at 4. We're going to go at 4. I was like, "No, I don't want to go at 4 because it's hotter than hell outside right now. I'm not doing that." He's like, "No, you got to go. You got to go." Fine. So we get out there and it is so hot in that gym. It should be illegal for that gym to be open because it is so hot in there. Oh my God.
Hot.
No air conditioning, by the way.
That's the thing. There's no AC.
No,
No
AC.
AC.
A bunch of silly.
We get
that's
in
okay.
there
It's
and
real
I'm
CrossFit
dying
air
because I'm used to 5 a.m. where it's a little bit cooler. I know it's still summer, but it's like at least 10 degrees cooler in there of a morning. So everybody's in there sweating, just standing there talking before class. So we get going and it is so hot. I have never stopped in the middle of a WOD, but the last set, I just quit. I did 2 pull-ups and I was like, I'm done. And he's over there, finished his workout, completely drenched. We get in the car and he's talking to his friend on the phone and I wanted food. So we were going to Tropical Smoothie for a wrap. And he goes, "I think I'm going to throw up." And he earlier had begged me to go and told me it wasn't that bad outside. But then he came in and he's like, "Yeah, it is a little hot." I was like, yeah, it is hot. So we get to Tropical Smoothie, and he pulls over, gets out of the car, and walks behind bushes and continues to throw up constantly, just bleh.
No, he said he had to have that extra to get the last little bit out of his stomach, otherwise he couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I feel kind of like this whole podcast was a setup for
Right.
her to tell that story.
Yeah, she's been wanting that.
You know what I mean? Like,
She's been
I
wanting
feel
that.
like we were lured in here, so let me tell you this
But I
beef
never
story.
even said I told you so. I never even
I
had
think
to
you
say
just
it.
did
Yeah,
now.
I think that counts.
No,
Yeah, I
but
think
that
this
doesn't
is
count,
it.
though.
That's a real CrossFitter. If you puke after a workout, you have done something.
That was his first time puking.
Are you okay?
Right. Okay.
He was like, I'm getting. It's just gonna
I
mess up
did
my
ask
smoothie.
you if you're okay because you took so long throwing up. I thought he
Are you
passed
done
out
yet?
back there,
Hey,
and I was like, "Do I go get him, or does he want his privacy?" I'm going to give him 2 more minutes.
That's
then
newlyweds
he-
right there. When you care about the privacy of your spouse throwing up. I mean, after 8 years, you're like,
Did you get a smoothie and walk out with his puking and be like, like that? You know?
This milk is really good.
you want to smell?
No. I was nice and went in and got our stuff for us so he could sit out in the car and recover.
Good thing you're not bitter about it.
Right.
And,
And blasted it all over.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the
But
important.
that's my proof that it was too hot to CrossFit that day.
Me and Jenny had that thought last week with the plate carries, and we were having to run with the weights on us.
I
I just
we
kept
had
telling.
like 35-pound plates.
I kept
I had
telling.
bruises
That was
from
tough.
here to here.
I kept telling Jenny, if I pass out, just put my feet up. Do not call 911. Absolutely do not call 911. Put some cold water, slap my face, anything. Don't call 911. Just put my feet up. I'll be all right. It was hot. Too hot.
And then she laid down afterwards and still put her feet up. It's like, come on, help me. So I did.
I don't see how y'all do the PM classes. Y'all are crazy. Crazy.
Well,
It's
yeah,
fun.
that's why we like working out
Yeah,
together.
It's fun. It's a good time. Even though you're dying and you're hot and you're sweating.
It is more social hour because I've worked at 5 p.m. and got finished with 5 p.m. and the 4 p.m. people are still standing there chatting. Mm-hmm. They're still talking.
There'll be people staying all the way till the doors close. Just, it's fun. It's a good time. It's a family, it feels like, you know?
Yeah, it is.
And we always, we go out and do a lot of things together socially, all of us. Yep. So,
And CrossFit family can run lateral. You can have several CrossFit families.
yeah.
Yeah. So how much of a chore do you feel like it is to get up and go to the gym?
Well,
Is
if you
there
made me
At
go
4
at
p.m.?
5.
Yeah, I was going to go,
You
what?
made me go at 5. That's a
Dude,
big
my
chore.
nap
That's crazy.
time.
like you.
I'm still
Way
sleeping
cut.
at 5.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
I had
really.
to go in the morning and be there bright and early.
I mean,
it
do you
just
feel
wouldn't
after work
happen.
though? Do you feel like, oh, now I
No,
have
I
to
mean,
go to the gym?
No.
Because like on Saturday, sometimes we go at Saturday like for the 9 o'clock workouts, and literally I feel like my body parts aren't working yet. And now,
Right. 'Cause
granted
you
during the
drink too
week,
much.
well, probably. Granted during the week,
More
I get up
coffee.
at 5:30 in the morning, and have to start my day. But something about sleeping in and then just not having my body warmed up by the time you go.
You say being
just
at work
have
at
all
work, you
day.
warm up.
For me, I think everybody's different. Some people say they go in the morning and they're fresh. And apparently, if you go in the morning, you have all day to burn calories, so it's supposed to be better for you. But screw that. I don't
All right.
care.
That's my excuse. After I work a 10-hour shift, that's the last thing I want to do is go walk into the gym because I
That
just
makes
feel
me
like I don't
feel
have
better.
any energy.
Gives me energy.
Yeah, if you do a bunch of like drugs probably right before, you'd probably be fine. I'm not really
Just-
sure.
And you
Borrow-
have access to them.
Just
Right.
borrow
so,
some
I mean,
stuff out of
you
the
should
narcotics
probably-
Well, are
vault.
you sitting? Are you moving? Like, what are how does
we're
that
gonna
work?
we're gonna just like
That's where you go, damn pharmacist.
act like we didn't say that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they got cameras. They would see me for sure. Let's see. These are kind of bleeding together. Do you struggle with taking yourself, the gym, and your accomplishments and failures too seriously? You kind of talked about that. Touched on not taking yourself too seriously.
I'm going, nobody takes themselves seriously
No,
here.
I
You-
totally
you picked
don't
the
take
wrong
myself
group.
seriously.
You know, I mean,
I don't know. I think
She's more serious
yeah,
for sure.
I think it depends, of course, on what you're doing, and the more injured I have become, the less serious I am. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And I want to do and I want to be better, but when things like a swing set falls and almost kills you, then it's like now I have a shoulder injury. Maybe I should chill out a little bit. So I have had to make myself become a lot more chill about things, and I do like it more. I do enjoy things so much more. I enjoy the workouts. I enjoy working out with other people more, and it just definitely changes your perspective, I think.
I've backed off here recently, trying not to be so serious. When you cry about something, I'm taking things too serious. So I realized I needed to back off
Or break a PVC on the floor.
Who did that?
That would be beef.
What did you do?
He got angry one day.
Very emotional.
Just
He's got all his
emotional.
feelings bottled up.
I don't remember what he was doing. Were you double unders and you weren't getting them down? So he walked over to our PVC pail and picked one up, and it was one of the old ones. So he slammed on the floor. When he did, the PVC shattered into 1,000 pieces.
Maybe what
he's
did
just
we
so
learn?
strong.
Did you learn anything from that?
Yeah, those things like
Choose something more substantial next time.
Load a bar, throw the bar.
Right.
I've thrown the rope before, struggling with double unders. Got mad and thrown the rope. Do you confuse the purpose of using the gym as a tool to give yourself a better life with making the gym your life?
Oh, that's a good one.
Some people do, I would say.
Absolutely.
I don't.
I struggled with that. I really did.
It's
That
just-
goes back to that whole serious aspect versus not taking yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
So,
Our speaker last week, our guest last week was talking about, I was going to say I was trying to balance everything and not put the gym so much first with family and all that. And he's like, there is no true balance. You always have to choose something that goes ahead of whatever. And so that's been a thing to back off of that and to choose other things that are more important than gym life. There's more things out there than beating everybody and looking at sugar watt and, oh, I need to beat
I'm at the
so-and-so.
top.
I need to be at the top. And
but even that, like, it bleeds over to your family life. So if you're so serious and you get so upset that you don't do well and your life is absorbed in the gym, it bleeds over to your family life. And that's what happened for me. It was, I became so serious with it and I wanted to do and be so amazing at CrossFit that when I wasn't, then I was a failure in everything. You know what I mean? And it wasn't just, well, you just had a bad day. No, you effing suck. Go home, and now you suck as a mom, and now you suck as a wife, and now you suck as a coach, and it was like every part of it. And, when I finally started to see that, it was like, whoa, you can have a bad day. You can have a workout. I completely and totally suck when it comes to back squats, but I can go back the next day, and if there's double unders and running, then I'm excited. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean I have to suck at everything. So I think, you have to find, maybe not finding the time balance, but you have to find the mental balance between, being in the gym and having that as your outlet and knowing, you're going to have bad days, and that's okay.
That's a learned skill, though. And Stacy, I know, can speak to this. So one of the hardest things of air traffic control is letting go when you make mistakes. You make mistakes, and in life and death situations, and you make embarrassing mistakes or costly mistakes. And the key is, one, being able to fix them, but two, and then walking out of those doors and letting it go. That's true of everything. I mean, that's true of walking out of the gym and letting it go. But it took about a decade of being a controller and being a good controller and saying, okay, man, that was not a good day. I could have done this. I could have done that. And you don't ever stop analyzing and trying to improve. But when you walk out those doors, for me, it was really key for my sanity to walk out those doors, and then I walk into parenting. And the funny thing is that with parenting, you never have that. You never kind of let that go. You never have that break where you say, well, I kind of f***ed up my kids today. I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to go over and do this and work on the gym, But that's a key skill. So if you can, so for me, when I walk out of the gym's over, and I'll still be laughing about stuff. But that part of my job where I had to learn to let go, because I would wake up in the middle of the night going, I can't believe I gave that clearance. And more importantly, I can't believe the guy I hate heard me give me that clearance. And that's the same thing with the gym. So if you screwed up, who cares? It's all relative. So for me, the gym is the last thing I worry about, not being able to let go of the gym.
Right.
Now for me, like you said, more injury prone. When I can get in there and do something, man, if I can get in there and deadlift good, that carries me for months versus the 6 months where I'm like, double unders, no thanks. Push-ups, no thanks. Like, like quitting workouts. I can let that stuff go easy. Yeah. Maybe too easy. Maybe I need to work on that.
Maybe we need to switch the intervention. Maybe it needs to be Laura's intervention.
Maybe they need intervention. Just need a hug. Yeah, I don't think I probably take it serious enough sometimes either, because I know I get in there and I do the workout and it's fun, but I don't look at it before I go because I'm scared I will not show up if it's something that I want to do. And I typically am somewhere else in my head when I'm working out. I'm not even counting reps.
I think you've actually
coming up with something to
though.
start talking about when we get finished and we can breathe again.
Right.
Now you have actually, I think we'd almost say you have a great balance of that, where if I look at it, maybe I will or I won't do it, or I'll get stuck in my head. You don't, and then and the thing is,
I do that too.
As she's being very humble, you are an excellent athlete, so you get in there, you always complete the work. So it's not like when we joke about you sandbagging, you're still doing the workout to the full capacity, and you enjoy it from the break, like you said, you get off of working. That is a really good balance.
Yeah,
of all that.
That's the fun part for me, is just kind of getting there, chilling, not knowing, so I don't
and you
stress
never
about it.
your makeup.
Right,
Never.
right. I told you it's stage makeup.
Permanent makeup.
Oh my Lord.
But then afterwards, I don't post, so therefore I don't feel the stress of having to
eliminate the things that
worry
stress you
about.
out.
Back in the day,
Is it bringing
when we
you
first
joy?
started,
That's the big key for everything, right?
So it's just like those are the things I know that make it fun for me.
Yeah.
And while maybe I probably would do better or maybe push myself harder if I did those things, I just know that it would not be as fun.
So you work out harder, but then you don't like it, so then you stop doing it. So
Yeah, I want to use it so that the next time we do that workout, I can see my improvement. So I can see.
I do
I'm
that.
Well, that's the
better.
thing too, for tracking for weights and percentages. I think that's important for a lot of people. That's one of the things CrossFit prides itself on, or running. It's measurable. It's quantifiable. You can actually see your progress, see where you're weak, see what you need to improve on, if that's your goal.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to show up. That's it. Give Jenny and walk out the door.
Right.
That's all I care about.
And that's what I appreciate about you.
And
Thank
I
you
hit
for
that goal
Text
every
her,
day.
too.
Chick.
Right. I like to be abused.
I was like,
You
you
know,
can
we
you can
do.
text her.
I just want to
abuse her that
continue to
way.
be just torn
I'll
down.
give you her
all the
number.
time.
Yeah.
I can. Everybody want her number? 901
657.
647
867
She never hears that.
No, that's weird.
I wrote it on the
Where's that
bathroom
came
wall
from?
and everything. I don't understand.
For a good time, call Jenny.
Yeah, I keep up with mine, but I don't post. Like I keep it private. It's on Sugar Watts, so nobody can see it. I just keep it for myself for my numbers. Yep.
I do it more just so that I can have accountability of. It shows you how many days you go,
Yeah.
so I can go. Oh wow, I really kicked butt here. What the hell is wrong with me here?
Hungover,
I went 2 days that week.
So is being good at exercise important as far as one's character or legacy is concerned?
No.
Character
I don't
and
have it
legacy.
all.
Who the are you talking to?
Hey, I'm
Look
reading
around
these.
here.
Right.
gonna say
Wilson, did you make these?
Character, legacy.
You write these effing questions.
I'm going to say I would go I like going just to have fun. The banter between everybody in the afternoon classes is so much fun.
We have to talk about the important thing here we have not discussed. This is real authentic, like athletic now. So did you not challenge a certain owner of another CrossFit
That's
box?
my fault. I was
Yeah.
supposed to be doing
But wait a
that.
minute,
Yeah, you
though.
haven't set that up.
While it's still disgustingly hot, and he's used to working
I know,
out in
he
air
needs to come to
conditioning.
us.
He needs to come to our gym.
Right.
So that you stand a fighting chance of kicking his
I believe in
I
you.
know.
Or
I'm
you
not-
guys come
I
down
believe in
there
you.
so we can have our air
No,
conditioning.
it's air conditioning.
No.
Fuck that.
For our
No,
listeners,
no.
for our listeners outside of our box and that are listening all over, kind of give a story of what they're talking
What
about.
did you do now, Jenny?
Okay, so
mouth could
I'm not
control.
very competitive. However, it can be fun sometimes. Just you get around CrossFitters and you start talking the lingo. So
Smack.
part of
She
what I
needs
do,
smack.
I go into the firehouses, and I walked into one day, and there happened to be one of the chiefs, and I'd never met him before, and I just was my normal self and say crazy things. So, but in a professional way, in case anybody from work is watching. So it came down to he mentioned that he was leaving, he had to go to the gym, and I just said something about where do you work out, and he said, well, I own a CrossFit. And I was like, oh, great. Which one? And he told me. And so I was like, oh, that's down the road, like not too far down the road. I was like, yeah, I heard about you. And I was like, yeah, and he said something about having some of the coaches there now that were from Olive Branch CrossFit, but he may have put it a little more interesting. So it just kind of got
Thanks,
that little
Shane.
bit of rivalry in me, and I was like, oh, well, let's see what you got, bring it on. And so somehow I'm like, we can do a pull-up contest, and he was so funny. He's like, getting a little competitive. And he's like, oh, we can do it right here. And I was just playing, but then he got real serious. Like, no, let's go right now. We can figure out some out back. And I'm like, look, if I didn't have this dress on and I didn't have to be somewhere in an hour, I would throw down right here, but then I'd make you look bad in front of all your guys. So it just went back and forth. But at the end of it, it was really funny. And he was just like, yeah, no, that's good. You could talk crud. That's great. And we were supposed to have something set up.
I'm working on it.
But we haven't done
Amanda.
that yet. It'll be fun.
I'm neutral territory.
She says that.
It's not neutral territory.
That's what she said. I'm neutral territory.
Yeah, well, I did say you're neutral because you're in both boxes.
What's his name?
I got two.
She gets into all
What's
the
his
boxes.
name?
Shane.
Shane.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks a hell of a lot, Shane.
Shane at Hammered Steel CrossFit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shane and Hammered still. And he was so fun. He was like, cool.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm just going to have to randomly pop in one day and just.
Yes.
But
you
then
do.
I realized I'll get slaughtered. And then I also realized that he, has air conditioning, and that's not fair.
Yes, it is. It's
He needs a-
amazing.
I bet. Real CrossFit doesn't have air conditioning.
Real
That's what I was told.
CrossFit has air conditioning.
Hey, functional. In the South, it's functional to be able to work out and
Functional.
not
Right.
air conditioning.
Because
I
what
love
happens if
y'all,
you
but
get
I
stranded and
love
need to
that
work
air
out?
conditioning. I love it. I did say the same thing. And the first day I walked in there, I was like, oh.
No, I didn't say I didn't want air conditioning. Until we get it, I'm going to sit there and say, you're all f***ing weak.
Right.
Your air conditioning, the minute we get it, I'll be like, woo, this is lovely.
I don't know. I'm voting for showers before air conditioning.
Yeah,
I would
I'll say
probably
showers.
actually, and I hate to say this because I hate morning people, I might show up to a morning class on occasion if I could go straight to work. If we had showers.
I do that. I just
I
stink
just
all
gotta
day.
work
More importantly,
smelly.
because just think of the mishaps that
work
will happen if we have
Go to
showers.
the bathroom.
Huh?
Go to work smelly.
Well, she says
I,
you
you
can
see me sweat?
have
I'm
poop everywhere.
I'm the opposite of Jenny.
Nobody's gonna smell me.
Oh, yeah. Where you working?
They
at?
do. They just don't say anything.
No, they ain't gonna smell me ever.
No,
some
where
of that.
she works? No.
Yeah, they're on the vent. They can't say
They
anything.
can't say anything. They're drugged
That-
out.
How professional is
Stacey,
that?
you
The
have to
people I
give
work
them-
with are like, ooh.
You have to give them a
just
breakdown
smell
of
her,
what
like,
a horse
"Ooh."
bath is.
Oh,
A
God.
horse
Can
bath.
you, can you explain to everybody what a horse bath is?
Jenny, I think you should take this one.
No, I mean,
I
was
had to tell
I
her
was
how to do
schooled
it
in
because she was going back to work or doing something.
I was going to a meeting. We had a night meeting where I had to.
Oh, you
go.
went literally back to work. I think you meant like
Yeah,
back
she
to
was
work.
We
That's
had
where-
a
and I was
dinner
like-
program that night. and
I
so
said,
came work
please
out
tell
of
me
a
you have other
meeting.
clothes. And she was like, yes, I got other clothes. I said, please tell me you took a horse bath in the sink or something.
And tell me
she
what you said after that.
I said, women can smell you if you smell bad. I said,
No,
you go there
no.
once.
She said, women can smell that. And I'm like, yeah, actually, you're right. Now that I think about it, you can.
I told her she need to go, in the shower,
think-
kind of
yeah.
spruce up a little bit.
I think she called. I don't know. Didn't we? Would you call it
Spruce
Badoosie?
up.
What?
Nothing. Might repeat that.
I do that.
Horse
I
bath.
I work out at 5, and I have to be at work at 6:30. So I do my little sink bath in the pharmacy in the
I could never
in the
do that.
bathroom before I work.
That's
The
where our
good news is
comfort
the guys
wipes are
that work
going.
at my job are so disgusting, and we have no dress code, and they'll mow the lawn all day long and then come straight in.
Gross.
So I guess I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't even notice.
No.
Just have extra deodorant in the car.
In fact, that's you fighting back.
So are y'all in like a small enclosed room or anything?
Sort of. There's
Just
areas
make
that
sure
are
you
sectioned
stretch.
off. That's the thing about after work too. I'm in a I work shift right, morning, noons, nights, and it's exhausting doing the shift work part of it to begin with. But at the end of it, you've been trapped. No matter when you're working, you're in this dark room. It's prison rules because it's dark. You sit in front of a radar scope. And it's like 25, 30 years of working side by side by the same people. And it's not people you chose to be with.
It's kind of like family sometimes.
No,
right?
it's f***ing worse. You can move away from family. These people are there. Holidays, mornings, noons, nights, overnights. Oh, my God. What were we talking about again? I just think all these people I don't like for my job.
I'm sure
Laura's eyes
Bert-
just went like,
Oh, God.
Bert's
Think
probably
about
really
work,
excited to hear this podcast.
Like
Between
PTSD
Bert
for-
Oh,
and
yeah,
Justin.
I know. Day after day after day. They never get tired of hearing me talk, though.
Ever.
Ever.
Right.
Ever.
I don't think
All
they
day
can-
long, 8
I don't
hours
think they
a
can make
day.
you shut up.
They don't.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they could.
No.
I think you could take them.
Oh, I do. I'm the queen. I'm the senior female in the area.
You're the princess.
Not a
No,
princess.
princess,
No,
no.
You're
that's
the
not the term they
queen.
use.
No.
On the mama.
The queen bee.
The
Yeah.
queen.
Yeah.
They call you mommy.
The area. No, gross. What?
That's exactly why I said that you said on the
No,
mama.
no, 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 no,
Oh
no,
yeah,
no,
mama.
no,
Oh yeah, mama.
So she took it to a
That's
deeper level
hot.
than
Have
I-
you
That's
seen
sexy.
air traffic controllers?
Oh. I'm looking at
There's a
one.
reason we're in dark rooms.
And they
Ugh.
don't let you do drugs. Wow.
No,
that
you
is
can't
so
do
sad
anything.
for you.
I know.
So y'all like
NyQuil,
vampires or
can't take
bats?
You know, both.
You're like in a cave.
Little caged rats.
It's scuttling.
Roaches turn the light on.
So, what are your thoughts on running? Yes,
I
no.
hate
No.
that crap.
No.
No, don't do it.
No.
Ever. I don't know. Why
She
do you
has,
people
like-
run?
So I've got 2 yeses, 2 nos.
Hell no. Can I get a
I
strong
used to before
hell
surgery, and I
no?
haven't gotten back. It still hurt, you know.
Running is just as much of a challenge in terms of being a limiter of whether you can or not. Like whether I like running or not, it's not good for me. I can't do it. I have different, ailments as I get older.
God, you're so
Grandma
old.
Pinckley, Mama Pinkley here can't. I mean, I think it would be nice to be
I
able to do
smell
that. Like I
Pinkley.
want to wear the shirts that say, the what is it? Running longish. What are we talking about?
longish.
50,
We need
50
that
miles,
ish on
50 Ks, whatever it is. It would be neat to accomplish those goals. I'd like to run not for running because that, but for accomplishing a goal or lifting a weight. Like it's fun to
She has a
accomplish these
checklist.
goals. Yeah, it's just I did the St. Jude's half, and that was enough. If it felt better and didn't hurt, I would actually enjoy it. I mean, it's one of those things too where you can't. And I'll never do a handstand push-up or anything like that. So you can't ask me whether I like it or not. I'll never probably be able to do it. But
Running sucks.
yeah, running
That's
does
just
suck.
It's amazing.
But accomplishing a goal of meeting a distance, I can see, or doing a trail run and being out there in nature, I can see. But running just to run is kind of a hard
If it's
sell.
not humid, it's nice, but when it's humid, I just can't.
I do
You
have
can't.
to. I have to tell you this because Chris said yesterday you need a cane. Chris said he goes, "We're not going to have kids for 3 hours tomorrow. What do you want to do?" And I was like,
That's-
"Take a nap." And Chris goes, he goes, "We're going to go run." And I was like,
Chris?
What? My Chris." I said, "I got to tell Beef." Like that's just crazy.
Wow.
And I
I'm
mean,
so proud
usually
of
it would
Chris.
be right. Usually it would be him. I want to go take a nap, and me wanting to run. So that was pretty cool.
So what'd you do?
I mean, it's tomorrow,
Apparently wasn't
It's in the
listening to me.
future.
or I just am not a good storyteller. So maybe I'll take a nap and run. I'll let you know.
Chris, are you okay?
I'll send you a text.
So you're just gonna
Hey, I almost
please
lost it.
text me during that decision. I'll help you make that.
Be like, bow, chicka, bow.
They're just gonna have sex is what's gonna happen.
Probably.
It's just they're gonna surprise you
It'd be
both
the
of each
easier
other.
of the two things to do.
Oh yeah.
Be more fun,
Yeah.
more gratifying.
There you go.
What about obstacle course running? I know you said you're
Oh yeah,
injured.
that was fun.
That would be
But that's-
fun.
That's,
That would be something
That's
I
also
would do.
group stuff too. That's another thing too. That's a group activity.
You're really
I
into
say
the
I
group
would
stuff.
I would want to do it with somebody
way
that was
into
about
group
my
stuff,
level
Jenny.
of running
With
because I'd be
intense enough for you.
intimidated by the people that could do it. Because I can't do all of that. So
Why can't you?
some of it, the obstacles I wouldn't be able to do. Like some
Well, you
of
can
the,
walk around it.
Yeah. Or have people
No,
help
but
you.
I know what you're saying. Like the tough mudders, like that mud
it would
run
be
we
more
did
fun
was
to have
really
somebody
fun.
with you that you could do it with. That
But
would
if
be
you
at your
can't
skill
do that-
level.
Right. That's
Wilson's
fun.
still trying to bully is what I'd like to say actually. Us into running this long distance, whatever
The
it
Tough
is.
Mudder.
Tough Mudder.
It'd be great if you can do it, but if
Bully.
you can't
I
do
don't like
half
dry
of them, have
mud,
to
though.
walk around.
Once
It's
it dries,
it's not fun.
I'm good with mud. I just don't like to run.
If it stayed wet, it would be okay. But when it dries, it's like
I mean, you're
Somebody just
pretty.
carry
You
me?
pretty much get re-wet every
Like,
obstacle
yeah.
at the Tough Mudder. You're
yeah.
pretty.
But it'd be the in between that you wouldn't want to be near me. It'd be the dry mud that I could hear and feel, and it no. Mm-mm.
Are you Lindy Lou? Right? That mud? A friend of ours who was not allowed to play in mud, and she did her first mud run, and
As
she
long
thought
as
it was awesome.
as long as I stayed muddy and it was wet, I would be good. But if the mud dried and it got dry
oddly
between my
specific,
fingers,
isn't
We'll
it?
just keep
Yes.
some water and just keep.
Yeah, we'll keep
like
some
a
water
spray
on
bottle,
spraying
just like
over
this.
there.
hey, whatever it takes, that would be fine. I could do that.
Like, shut
Get
up,
the
Stacey.
hose. It needs the hose.
Every rubs the lotion on its skin. No, but
Yeah, we need to do that
the mud
obstacle
drying
course.
would be my biggest obstacle in trying to do that.
It's the dry mud.
It's the dry mud.
Try mine.
I did not see
It's
that coming.
It's a texture. It's a texture thing. I just
But you know, the point is,
What about baby
doing
oil?
Like with
is
the
group
chalk, I
thing.
can't do the
you up
chalk either.
and
Yeah.
baby oil, and then that would
As long as it kept my
wouldn't
fingers.
actually, petroleum jelly
That'd be
all
okay.
over your
That
body.
was
And
still
Well,
Okay,
you
why?
got
stick
like
to
a
you.
gallon container out in your car, right?
Right.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah.
set.
I keep it on hand all the time. Right.
I'll have to say, we did the Rugged Maniac this past weekend in Atlanta. That I did not like. I've done 3 or 4 obstacle course races now. I did not like that we were completely sweaty and dry, like not
And then have
muddy,
to go
and then had to roll in
And
the sand. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
had to
no.
like barrel roll underneath these
that sucked.
wires and then get up sandy and run with sand on your armpits and stuff for another like half mile before the next course. And you still didn't get wet there. You were like praying for mud or water.
It was a
It
good
was
bit
horrible.
before. Yeah.
It's pretty torturous.
Good for exfoliating, though. I think,
was.
with all
Yeah.
the sand.
It's perfect. My
and the
armpits are
rubbing
great.
and the great. You don't even have to shave for like
Yeah.
a month.
Yep.
Good times.
Yeah, that was not
Yeah,
fun.
that was
and
not-
sand was in your pants, and
I was saying,
it just wasn't fun.
no.
That wasn't very
No
good.
beaches in the pants.
It was a fun race, but that
Yeah,
was
that was. Ugh.
Could you imagine if your thighs rubbed together and have sand down there? Ooh.
Yes. I'm just going to say yes.
just
I imagine it. We weren't there for
Can
the
you tell
mud
us the
run
story that
for
went along
Bridget.
with that?
Well, you know, we did that mud run with a bunch of the CrossFitters, and it was wonderful because it rained the entire time. It was a 5K down up there at Millington, and it was really nice. So it was nobody dried out, and it was
Okay.
wonderful.
Okay, that
And
makes
it
me
was a
happy.
good group.
So,
And then
like-
if we had trouble getting over the obstacles, we had the big boys to help throw our fat asses over things, and that was
Well,
really
that's
fun.
good.
Nice.
That's
too.
actually
But some of us were smart and wore fitted kind of pants and capris and stuff, and some people maybe like Bridget did not, and was talking about getting the Mississippi douche. So be careful what you ask for dampness.
I didn't say I wanted it up there. That was never a part. I said hands.
I think Jason Lutz had a little Mississippi douche too, but I know Mark did because those shorts were above his hips.
he probably enjoyed that.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
That's his standard uniform, though. You can't stop that. It's
He has to wear them
This
high
is
school basketball shorts.
Yes.
Amanda did save you saved my right foot, my shoe being suctioned off. We were running through like kind of on the side of a mud pit, and I slid and stepped, and I went all the way down to my waist with just my right foot. My left foot was still up on the ground, and it suctioned me. And it was called like lose your shoe. And I was like, I can't lose this shoe. I cannot, because people were literally digging in the mud, suctioned like all the way down to their necks, trying to reach their shoes where they had pulled their foot out without their shoe. And she helped me retrieve my whole foot with my
See,
shoe
that's friends
on.
right there.
That's the best
Wow.
friend.
Sweet.
Because I mean, she was pulling hard to get me out of there because I was suctioned. I was like, oh my god. Then I was like, had my foot up, trying to like hold my shoe on. Like, please, I can't lose this shoe. I can't lose this shoe.
It's like
my
never-ending
lucky shoe.
story. Did y'all see that when the horse goes in?
yes.
The,
I did
Oh,
love
Atreyu.
that.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
don't want to lose you.
Man, things just got real.
I know.
Watching that
Damn.
backwards as a kid, like from now as an adult, it came on a couple years ago, and I was like, why did I like this movie so
Why'd you
much?
watch it backwards?
So we've switched programming. It's a bit harder now. What do y'all think about it?
I like the workouts, but I like doing our midlines the way they were, having the sets or doing the weights with it.
Right. The
I like-
strength training.
I like that they tell you here's your time cap, and I think it was Dustin that said your goal is to do it in half the time they allot or 3/4 of the time. If you're taking the whole time, then you didn't scale it enough.
I think
So
that's good because I think we
that
got to where we
helps me in
focused.
the
Everybody
head.
had to do the RX weights.
Well, and Dustin was actually programming that way almost. And if you go to a lot of other boxes or anything like that in CrossFit, you'll realize most of it's always at this really challenging, hard level. And then you should scale. That's the whole gift and, part of CrossFit that makes it accessible to everybody. And then people focus on the RX and then they're not getting Fran's a perfect example of that, where it's supposed to be just a couple minutes. And someone like me could probably do it like in an hour and a half. So I might be missing the point, So it's good that we can kind of get back to that basics, where I think the fitness and the engines we're gonna see a huge result from that. And once you get that, I think we'll probably maybe move back into the strength portion of it too. I do miss the straight up strength portion too. But you
Yeah.
know, another thing too is you can do some other moves and stuff that
Right.
you want to do goal specific outside of that too. I mean,
But now with the powerlifting stuff that they have,
That's gonna be awesome.
Going to be so. I mean, not as many people. There are going to be some people who want to just do that or do both.
and
but
switch
you
off
can-
too. You know, I've started
do all of it.
looking at swimming as I get older, and I can do less and less things. You know, but different things. Do it for a little bit. Go back and do some powerlifting, and then come back over and do.
Yeah,
the
I
other
don't.
stuff. And I bet
plan
it'll
on
be
doing it.
easier.
I'm just saying that some people might. I don't like.
Oh,
to
you're
push
going to go
myself
over there
any
when I tell you
harder
to go
than-
over there, Missy.
Yes, master.
Yes, thank you.
It's taught me to humble myself because you know I was
Absolutely.
always piling on the weights for RX, so it's taught me to scale and be okay with it.
And sometimes the scales can actually be a little bit harder. So when we have some of the workouts that have the chest to bars, well, he was saying, you know, Gus in particular is really good about finding how to scale for you, not just in general too. That's another thing too. So some people were scaling with jumping pull-ups, some people were scaling at reps. And to find what you need to work on that one piece, I think it's going to be a little bit better with this programming. So for me, it was jumping pull-ups, but it was still 20 reps. So that I could work on that last little piece of the pull-up. So I think that might give us a little bit more freedom in specializing each workout for each person in the gym versus everyone try to go really heavy, and if you make it, great, and if not, just do this one other move. You know,
We've been using it since January, and I can tell you most of the people that came to the box in Hernando they were beginners, and when I say beginners, had never ever even done anything athletic in their life. So for them to go into a program like that, it was great to be able to scale to the very beginner level that they needed, and from January until now, it's amazing how much better they have gotten. And I feel like it's because they continually have to be pushed, but they don't have the mental aspect of I have to RX it. I have to RX it. We have
because they've never
two
started
people-
off that way. From
Yeah,
it.
we
Right.
have 2 people in the gym that consistently RX. The rest of us do not. And that's just the way it is, you know, and that's it. They've never had that. So they don't have the pressure to pile on the weights and not worry about the form. Not only that, but we won't let them. But you know what I mean?
Right.
So it is nice to have that taken away so they can go, okay, well, she's handed me the training bar and I'm going to do it the way that I need to do it, you know.
Well, and we've added so many classes for different skill sets too on the Saturdays, which has been nice too.
I like
Yeah.
those.
I do.
That's very helpful.
I need
We are
all the
gonna kick butt
gymnastics.
this Missy.
Yeah, I need all the gymnastics classes I can get.
Yes, you do. Not me. I'm good, but I mean, you do.
I do.
But didn't we make a promise after the Open?
We did.
We're going to be
We did.
unbroken kipping, toes to bar, chest to bars, and in my case, double unders.
I'm sorry. You actually show up to work out with her?
No, I
You've
don't work out with
given up?
anybody.
No.
Okay.
But we made a promise, and I think she
Oh.
By
should
the
stick
next
with
Open.
it.
So somebody has to
I want to remind her that she's
So in
got
January,
goals.
we're all going to
By
start.
the next Open, we're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, sure.
That's
I've-
perfect.
Got my double unders for the most part down.
Yeah, you do.
Now I just got other stuff to work on. My kipping. I want to be like you, Jenny. You're the one who helped me get my double unders.
But do you
She
do
has a
do you
freaking
do the work
amazing
on your
kid.
own for like 10, 15 minutes here and there?
Yeah, I do.
You know?
Yeah,
There you
sometimes
go.
if I'm especially if I'm coaching,
I
and I,
don't,
get
so I'm
there at
wondering
like
what
3
that's
o'clock
like,
in the
but-
morning, so I work on stuff while I'm waiting on people to get there. There's so much to write on the board. I'm so paranoid I'm not going to get all written down in time. I have to get there super early.
I wonder if they're going to do that kip and toes to bar.
What do you mean?
So that you can start getting your rhythm and stuff. Like they did like the 2 weekends ago, it was double unders.
Right.
I was there for that.
No, he did a kipping one, and then you could work on either the kipping, pull-ups, kipping, chest to bars, or kipping, toes bar. But it all starts with
Yeah.
the same kipping motion.
It does.
So in the
Yeah,
class,
kipping
it'll
is
teach whatever
kipping.
you want to do in that particular
Yeah, just
time
anything.
frame.
I want to do the butterflies, the butterfly
Oh,
pull-ups.
me
Wanna
too,
get
me
those.
too. I can do about 5 before I start flying off.
I want to do like a pull-up.
I got that. That took forever. I got that, but like the toes
Oh, I
to bar
had
are
them.
so pretty.
And then, that's one of those, it was a good time in my life where I had the time and energy to go ahead and work out all the time. And then I didn't. So now I lost those and I ate all the sugar and that's okay. I'm still going and working out and having a good time, and then it'll come back, right?
Kind of like herpes.
Right?
Right.
Like herpes.
It's just,
My pull-ups are like herpes.
I felt like that was where you were
I
going
wish there was
with that.
Valtrex for my pull-ups.
Right.
You know what I
Take a
mean?
pill
Like-
for it. You'll be better.
Yeah.
She can give you some.
I'm going to come to the gym and be like, Laura, I've got your Valtrex.
Dude, you can't shame me. You can't. Go ahead, do it. Go
I
ahead.
think I was really burning today.
So does anybody have anything else to talk about before we sign off?
What's left to talk about?
All right. Well, that's it for podcast number 62. Lift everyone long, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.